Namaste, peace family. It's T, aka Sister Nature, and welcome to Mental Mondays. Today I am bringing you a Mental Mondays that's focused on nourishing healthy seeds. And nourishing healthy seeds, I got this idea because this just spoke to me this morning, and I needed to pick up this book again because I'm almost done reading it, and I've been reading it for a little bit now since right before I had the baby, and I have not picked it up in a while. So I picked it up this morning. I was having kind of a difficult morning mentally. And, knowing what you need to do mentally is half the battle. Actually doing what you need to do for yourself mentally is what's going to change your life. And so for me, I wanted to lay here. Gloomy days just get me. And it's, even though it looks bright in here because I have a big patio door and everything's open, it's a gloomy day today. And so gloomy days just get me. And it's easy to get down about your situations, financial situations, relationships, different things that may have gone wrong. It's easy to sit there and dwell on the past. And so I think that's what I was doing a little bit. I was sitting here dwelling on the past and kind of just holding a little pity party for myself. Sitting in fear. I was sitting with fearful thoughts. I was sitting trying to rationalize other people's actions towards me, and all of those things kind of make you feel down. They make you drag your feet and make you not want to do anything. I have so much on my plate too. So also sitting in an overwhelmingness of fear, and that's just kind of what I've been feeling lately. Very overwhelmed with returning back to work from maternity leave 2 weeks ago, trying to get it acclimated to the new schedule. Having to be to work, and I only work for 5-hour days. So by no means am I looking for a pat on my back for being a working mom, a nursing working mom too. So just adjusting to all of that kind of makes me feel overwhelmed. I have things to do for my nonprofit. I have people to interact with, and just in running a business, that in itself, I'm trying to make sure I properly juggle all those things and be a family person and be a mom. I have an 8-year-old. I have a man that I need to make sure is happy and attended to. And so all of those things, with all of those things, I've been feeling overwhelmed, to say all of that. And so picking up this book today helped me to realize my seeds that I'm planting within myself and the seeds that I am allowing to manifest within myself. And so I just have to read this beginning part. This book is Peace is Every Step. This book was actually, this is my sister's book that I kind of subsequently stole. And if you know me, I'm a book thief. So if you have a good book and you're a good family member or friend that's sitting on your shelf, I may or may not take that book just to read it, and then you'll get it back. But I may or may not borrow it because you'll get it back. So in any event, Peace is Every Step by Thien Nhat Hanh. The Path of Mindfulness in Everyday Life. This is such a great book. So I am here on page 73, and this chapter is on nourishing healthy seeds. And it says consciousness exists on 2 levels, as seeds and as manifestations of those seeds. So suppose we have a seed of anger in us. When conditions are favorable, that seed may manifest as a zone of energy called anger. So what seeds are we allowing to manifest themselves in us? And it goes on to talk, it's a pretty long chapter. It goes on to talk about how every time a seed has an occasion to manifest itself, that it produces new seeds of the same kind. So if we're angry for 5 minutes, we are producing new seeds of anger that will lie dormant until they manifest themselves. If we're sitting here in fear and overwhelmingness, how I was creating new seeds of fear and overwhelmingness within myself. And we're creating those in our unconscious mind, so we don't really realize what we're doing when we're allowing those things to manifest. And so we should make sure that we're not sitting in with those seeds and watering those seeds with our thoughts. And how do we do that? Through mindful breathing, mindful doing whatever we're doing at the moment, do it mindfully so that we are not stuck in our heads, constantly allowing those thoughts to play over. So what I like to do is when I'm driving, I like to drive mindfully. If I'm listening to music, I like to listen to that song mindfully instead of allowing that song to bring up old habits, old thoughts of things. And music is great. Music is a great form of source of meditation and a great source of either make you feel happy or make you feel sad. So just making sure that you choose upbeat, positive music when you want to be mindful and present in the moment. When we're doing washing our dishes, and I know my last Mental Mondays video was on having a space for meditation, but we're in constant meditation all day, every day with our thoughts. And so you don't have to always be in your space or have a space. Practicing mindfulness means to be present in the moment at that given time and giving that particular moment your all. So whether I'm nursing my baby, I'm trying to make sure that I'm not nursing her and thinking about all the overwhelming thoughts that I have, that I am mindfully nursing her and that I am paying attention to her and looking to her eyes and breathing mindfully so that she gets great vibes and great positive energy from me, because that's also what this chapter talked about, was how we have our parents that did not plant. Some of us have parents that didn't plant nourishing seeds in us, and that's not due to their fault. A lot of the times it's due to them not knowing any better. So how we need to be mindful of the seeds that we plant in our children so that we can break those curses that we want to break. It starts with us. And so she's moving around. And so with that being said, I want to encourage you to plant nourishing seeds, be mindful of those thoughts and those emotions that bring up those feelings in you that aren't productive. Another thing that nourishing the seeds, let me get to that, back to that, because the book closed. Another thing that it brought up was how we should, when we practice mindful living and we plant the healthy seeds, we strengthen the healthy seeds already in us. Healthy seeds function similar to antibodies. Y'all know how I am about my herbs and antibodies. When we plant those healthy seeds, they transform the negative seeds. And so making sure that we're continuing to plant healthy seeds and cultivate those healthy seeds. And how once we realize we need to realize what our healthy seeds are. So if it's a person that makes you feel good all the time, a person that you can vibe with, I guess, so to speak, in our terms, if that's your seed, practice mindfulness around that person, as opposed to being in that person's presence and not being present, so to speak. So, with nursing my baby, making sure that as I'm nursing her, because you look at a baby and you're like, oh, she's so precious, and that feeling that babies give you, being present in that moment when you're having a moment of anger, or if I'm having a moment of overwhelmingness, and I can only use myself as an example, of course, going back to that feeling that my baby made me feel, produces new seeds, produces better seeds within you. And so keeping those seeds in the forefront of our mind so that when we need them, we can water them ourselves and pull them up. And then in turn, it produces new seeds. And so constantly being present, constantly being mindful of what we're thinking about, of how things make us feel, how people make us feel, so we know whether it's productive to be around that person or not. And if you have a person that is a seed for you, or a place or a thing that is a seed for you, breathing into that moment when you're around your positive seeds, so that when the negative starts to arise, you can automatically counter it with the positive, because you have it there. You have that as a tool to use to practice mindfulness and to be better for yourself. I hope that makes sense. Makes sense to me when I read it. Really, really good book. Highly recommend it. Peace is Every Step by Thich Nhat Hanh. I would try to link maybe a YouTube to it later on. Forgive me. Forgive my appearance. I ain't washed my face yet. I'm sitting here having my tea and having my meditation moment. Haven't even started my day yet, really. So this was starting my day. Make sure, that's what another thing about Mental Mondays is to make sure that you're doing the healthy things daily for yourself so that you can live in bliss every day, because you can. You create your life. You can create your own happiness. You can create whatever it is that you want in this world through your mental and being mindfulness. Because once you practice mindfulness with your thoughts, then you're mindful in everything you do every day, and guarantee you'll have nothing but productivity within your days, even on your supposed lazy days. Because I have my rest days. It's important to have your rest days, but it's also important to know when you need to step up out of your funk and get up and get things going for yourself. And that's what mindfulness helps you do, because Mondays can be a drag. It's a drag Monday here, but I got to get up and do stuff. So I needed to do something for my mind, and I'm glad I did. Message me if you have any questions. I'm here for you all. If you have any questions about any teas, this tea is so delicious, you guys. And it really, with every sip, I like to make tea my mindful moment in a day in my mornings. With every sip, I can feel the goodness going into my body. So cell recovery, adaptogen, stress relieving blend, energy is it. You can get it in my Good Vibes box. That's my wellness box for the month. It has the Good Vibes tea, it has energy, and it has a Good Vibes candle that is so amazing. It will have your house smelling like heaven, but it's also an aromatherapy an aromatherapy candle. So it will cleanse your air. The lavender will relax you. The peppermint and the eucalyptus will allow you to breathe easily, breathe lighter. Great, great candle. It's one of my favorite candles of all times. That's why it's in my box. Shout out to Posh Candle Co. Black woman owned business. They are taking care of business with their candles. I love it. So peace, family. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that you have found this helpful. If you have any more questions, if you want to further the discussion, I'm in the comments box all day. I'll holler at you. Enjoy your Monday. Peace.